Is Don Schramm here to come up? Come on up, Don. It's our honor, very distinct honor, to present the namesake of the Don Schramm Award and first recipient. Before I give this year's award, I wanted to ask if all the past recipients of the Don Schramm Award who are here could please stand up. Anyone else? So with this award, we get to honor members of the community and members of the co-op who are contributing in myriad ways to strengthen our community. And it's a huge privilege, and every year the board, has to choose just one person, and that's always a very tough decision because we see so many amazing candidates. So I personally am lobbying to start giving more awards every year. I'm just putting that out there. But for this year, we are delighted to present the award to Ed Lincoln. And I believe Ed is here. Yes, no? Ed, will you join us up front? I'm going to read this and then I'm going to hand it to you, okay? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a preference for the order? No. Okay.
I hide behind you.
So I'm going to read this because it's so extensive and impressive. So Ed Lincoln began volunteering with New Farms for New Americans in the fall of 2016, a retired dairy and vegetable farmer from Randolph, and a relatively recent transplant to Burlington. Ed is one of those classic jack-of-all-trades types of people who has given his heart and soul to the refugee and immigrant farming community since he started volunteering with NFNA. He's been a champion for the program and its myriad needs. He's been working tirelessly to build relationships with existing and new farmers, secured plant donations, strengthened the infrastructure of the farm, has repaired irrigation systems, developed relationships with the participants who bring agricultural knowledge and traditions to Vermont from Somalia, Burundi, Bhutan, and Burma. Ed has taken his enthusiasm for food and farming and become a friendly and familiar face to the refugee farming community. He's volunteered hundreds of hours for NFNA and has brought both new ideas and exposure to the program. As Ed says, this is not about volunteering anymore. It's so much more to me now. His background, City Market learned a bit in the past when Ed was featured as a member artist. He had, prior to his farming career, he was a commercial photographer in Boston, in Providence, and in Woodstock, Vermont. Worked for a number of studios and newspapers. And then, since the 1960s, he's been a dairy farmer, house builder, vineyard owner, and refrigeration engineer. And now you're retired, right? So we're very proud to recognize Ed's work, strengthening both the community and the food systems in a really valuable way. And I'll ask Don to, present a token of our gratitude for everything that Ed is doing for our community and continues to do.
Wow.
There you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your awardee tag. Would you like to say anything?
We have lots of needs at the New Farms for New Americans, and if somebody would like a tax write-off, we need wheelbarrows. We need about 12 wheelbarrows. You can get them at Ace Hardware for $50 or $100. And you can see me, and I'll give you the contact information right in my pocket here. And so that's, you won't have to pay our federal government. You just pay New Farms for New Americans. And we also need a lot of transportation help. And we need somebody who's really retired and knows the bus services or can organize transportation or ride share, because we have 300 people who need a ride to the Winooski Valley Park District museum site, and they all have limited means. So if anybody really wants to step forward that way, please contact me.
So the co-op has been generous to give me a few minutes here. First of all, I want to say the requirements for the Community Service Award has gotten much tougher over time. I'm lucky that I got in early. I want to mention, you should all be aware that Christine, who's running as a Democratic candidate for governor, was the director of the Vermont Electric Co-op. I just want to tell you that I've been in many co-op meetings with her. She's a very, very involved in co-ops. She was very helpful with the Keep ET Local campaign. Okay, here's the main point I want to make. Though Vermont is a fairly progressive state, most Vermonters do not seem to understand what a co-op is. Okay? At best, they think a co-op is something like Costco. This lack of understanding needs to change. So I'm asking all of you to make a serious effort to include co-ops in your conversations with your family, your friends, and your neighbors. First of all, co-ops are businesses, not nonprofits. Businesses used to take care of their workers and help their communities. Nowadays, very few businesses do. Co-ops, for the most part, do. When we spend $1 at City Market, we get good quality food, but we also know that we are providing our workers with a voice in how we operate and a living wage and benefits. We're also taking care of our community. First, we are strongly supporting our local farmers, bakers, and food processors. Secondly, we're strengthening our nonprofits that do so much to build our social capital. We're also doing what we can to help our community members who are most struggling, and do all that we can to end childhood hunger in Vermont. John will fill you in with the details of our co-op's good work. My message is to you is to get the story out, talk it up, make sure that folks really understand what co-ops are and why they are so important to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.